while coming down, my husband would always say, I don't like the red dirt. And all this place, the backside, dig it out. He would just complaining. But the Spirit just said, be calm and just listen to him. I remember one time I said to Stacia, boy, it seems as if he's not coming and you just have to go by yourself.
What did I say?
And she said, yes, I'll go by myself if he's not coming. But then I continued to pray. And
not only that, I remember saying to you, I know my father.
Okay.
And he might go come. Remember I said that
Yes,
I remember mommy was saying, I'm gonna say that's his daddy. Daddy will come with some negativity at first, but then afterwards when him falling out with something, that's the key and get him off it. And I told her, I said, he will come, don't worry, just let's pray and move forward.
Right.
And I wasn't wrong.
Yes, he came in COVID and
looking for a Bible verse.
Clean up the land, he wired it around and he started to plant.
So what was happening at first was that my mother would come every Sabbath.
Right.
Every weekend. From Friday, and you'd leave Sunday. Right. Daddy would come on Saturday and leave. So she wouldn't have a ride. She'd still come, and he would just come for the Sabbath and leave. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Then, you would work every other weekend.
Right.
Based on her schedule. And then Daddy would start coming from Friday.
Yes.
And coming down. And just him, when I remember Sabbaths where him and Sky, where I'm working now, and Daddy would come and keep Sky.
Mm-hmm.
Him and my daughter alone. And then I would come and relieve him Sunday, and then he would go. And I realized he was falling in love with the place. Then now, we had the Bible verse, Proverbs 24, verse 27, and I got this Bible verse from the same Elvin Bridges and those who were studying CountryLiving that says, prepare thy work without, and make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thine house. Now, with my father being a farmer, when we live in Greater Portmore, if I can find a picture of the callaloo field, I will put it up. We used to have callaloo field, we used to have pak choy, we used to sell callaloo. Daddy used to plant soursop tree, whatever he could plant, and the little part, he would plant it, right? Now, when we came down here, it was bush. If I can find a picture, I show the bush forest people. He came and he started to fence the land, as Mama was saying. He started to clear up the land. Stones were all over the land. Let me tell you something. People would see this land and say they don't want it because too much stony. But it was very they're deep stones, but they were superficial. So it's not as though you couldn't farm on it.
Right.
So he would take out the stones and he'd do a lot of things. Listen to me, man. And he prepared this land and started to farm the land. And that was it. Mommy couldn't get him. I think we had another lockdown. The Sundays were locked down.
Yeah, so he would come down before. He would come down and stick on Sundays. He's on the land.
And he'd still be here because it's country. And we live close to the land, so you just drive down to the land. Even though in the town you couldn't move an inch. Mm-hmm. Right? So that was in and of itself a blessing. And the man worked the land. And I'm telling you, no. I remember when we're on the land now, by the way. When we are here, when we move here, he said, a long time I should have moved come here. So he said, long time I should move and come down here, so man. Mm-hmm. You understand? So you don't worry. Pray for that family member that's not yet converted to what are convinced of what God is saying. Continue to pray. The Lord will do the convincing, not you. Right? So basically, we got to the place now where my parents wanted to move down. We made a decision, say they're going to sell their house. Mommy's going to leave her job, my father's going to leave his job, and they're going to sell their house and move down, right? Because they're saying they don't want another lockdown like COVID to come and happen to them. So anyways, they did that. With selling the house, they didn't know where to go because where I live was not conducive to keep a whole family, right? My landlord at the time lived on the house, so he rented a piece of the house to me, right? And that wasn't conducive for my family. My family are adults, figure live near landlord and no bother with that. So we said, Lord, what was your prayer, mommy? Because now we're looking somewhere so I could move to so they could come.
Right. The house was up for sale, so I was praying because we said we need to, as soon as things come true, we have to leave. So I prayed and I said, Lord, I want you to give us a place that's owned by a Seventh-day Adventist, but the person is migrating. And so said, so done. A church brother called us and said one of his friends is migrating and he wants somebody to rent the place. And we went the Saturday evening, to look at the place, and we love it. It was great.
Yeah, it wasn't the best place. It wasn't modern or anything, but what we loved about it was the fact that it was a country property. One, it was by itself. It wasn't in conjunction with anybody, and it had a lot of food and fruit trees on it. You understand? Mm-hmm. It had a lot of food and it had a lot of fruit trees. So we moved on and we said, all right, no problem. This is what we're going to do. But it was an old country house. And people would say, I know people that would never live there. So, you know what I mean? There are lots of people who would never live there. But we knew what we had in mind and we knew what we had inside. So we weren't focusing on where we were at the moment. We were focusing on where we are going and what we had to do. So I moved down there first to that house, and then mommy and daddy moved and come, right? So basically, I'm the only one that's working now. And daddy's farming up this land and coming up. But we had started, so this was March. You move March 2022, right? We didn't start building yet because we said when the move come down, because we needed that money from the house to start building.
Yes.
Tell them about how you find the contractor.
So I was praying and saying, Lord, send me somebody to build the house, because we know how contractors are. They will take the money and leave the house unfinished, and the money got finished, and you have nothing, no other source. So I just keep praying. And the Lord said to me, call your cousin. I have a cousin that lives in Kamapen. He said, call him. I said, Lord, he is sick. The Lord said, call him. So I called, and he said he is not sick, but he's not building anymore. But he can recommend somebody to us, and he recommended somebody to us. And I'm telling you, that person is a blessing from God. Okay. When he came and we showed him where the house.
So first of all, let me interject. I remember when we were looking for contractors, I remember walking one day where I lived, and I walked to a place that was unfinished, and I asked them, why you can't, what's happening? Why you're not finishing? I genuinely asked them, and they said, this is the third contractor we have taken on now, and they robbed up our money, and they're gone, and they robbed up with cement and stuff. I remember we came down here, we met a church sister that used to go to church with us, and she said one day she come from Kingston, and what did she see? Somebody loading, the same contractors who were building her house, loading up her house, the cement from her house into the back of their van. And then that's when I realized that it's very important to not rush and get anybody, but to get somebody who will be honest. And trust me, the Lord led us to the right man, the right person, an Adventist elder who was a contractor, not a money grabber, but we agreed on what we agreed on, and that was that. Very honest, let me tell you, man.
True. He had prayer on the property before he started.
Oh yes, when we came here, he had prayer, and every day he had devotion. Yes. I remember saying it to him. I remember saying to him, every day I come on this property, I needed to have devotion. Him saying, "You have to tell me that I have devotion, and wherever I'm working, I have devotion every day."
And most of his men are Seventh-day Adventists.
Right. And he mostly works with Seventh-day Adventists, and whoever he contracts, he tries his best to work with Christian men. Yes. Right? Yes. Even if they're not Adventists, they work with Christian men who are noble and do what they need to do. Right. We're still meeting issues, trust and believe.
But not, but we can live with it.
Yeah, not like how others will tell you the work can't done.
Right.
Right?
But more than all, I remember when he told us the price for his it wasn't a lot, but we didn't have a lot of money, right?
It was basically what the house was sold for,
right?
That's what he wants, right?
And I was saying, Lord, where are we going to get the money to buy the materials? Because materials are very expensive. But I remember Stasia said, God's will, God's bill.
First of all, the man talk and the man say him want $2, right? Him say, I want $2 to build this what you want, right? And I said, sure, no problem. Mommy said, what do you mean no problem? That's all of the money that we have. I said, God's will, his bill. If he will lead us all this way, God's will, his bill, he'll sort it out. That's not my concern. Yes, we're moving forward. And I'm telling you, there was even a point in the building where everything stood still. Mm-hmm. The work was going on, but with the money done. Yes. And we say, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I'm telling you, the Lord came through right on time. Yes. Right? You want to go in?
Yes, I had a piece of land in the country for years now that my father died and willed to me.
Right.
And my brother always said he wanted to buy, so I went to him and I said, you can buy it now because I really needed to finish up the house. But he wasn't interested, so I went along and sell it, and it just came through. People came and they buy it, and the money come in, and the building could have, within 6 months, our home was finished.
Within 6 months, our home was finished, and that was a miracle of itself. I said to Mommy all the time, I'm very sure when the men were here, the angels were just strengthening them. Not only that, at night I feel like angels were here, adding block to block, mixing cement. Because when people here said this house finished 6 months, listen, everybody's shocked. We are shocked. We weren't expecting that either, right? And with rain and days when men had to stop working and things like that, and still the Lord allowed it to finish within that record time, right? And there are more things we want to do, but we are at a place where we met as a family, we made decisions as a family, four of us, my mother, my father, myself and my husband, and we sat as a family and we made decisions as a family, and how are we going to do this, how are we going to do the water, how are we going to do that, and we prayed about it, and we bring everything to God, and we said, what should we do? And not only that, because our contractor is a spiritual man, sometimes we bring things to him and say, no, not like this, like this, and I'm telling you, we said, all right, we trust you, and it worked out. So it's important to get somebody who is like-minded, get somebody who's along the path, as well as another thing, be on your property. If you can be on or as close to your property as possible, people need to see your presence needs to be there. That also help them to encourage their labor. Yes. When you leave it, it's like, we didn't experience that, but my father was here either way, because Daddy was here farming the land, so I can't speak of if we were absent what would have happened. But I'm telling you, so far so good. God has been good, and we moved into our home since December. We moved in our home since December, right? December when?
30.
See, remember the date, right? And we've been here January, February, March, April, May, now June. It's almost 6 months, right? And I'm telling you, this is to encourage you. So just stay on your journey. We will go into details later on how to choose the property, on how to basically choose the contractor, what some things to do and what not to do. Those are some things we're going to go into later on into some more details. But for now, we're just encouraging you. Get on that country living journey. You do not want to be trapped in these cities when the time comes for no buy and sell. You want to be able to be on your property. Yes. Of course, we know the time might come where we have to leave our property altogether. Right. But you want to be on your property.
The little time of trouble.
Yes. And another point of country living as well is for character building. I was talking to Mommy this morning, and we know there's a part of country living where basically in the last days you're going to take in people, right? People going to come. And I said, I'm not there. I was saying it to Mommy, I feel like I'm selfish, and I know that, and I'm praying to God about it. I'm not there to say taking people and inconvenience myself. And I'm saying, Lord, I'm praying about it because I know that's coming. And I don't think if I'm in the town or in the city, it would have been revealed to me like that. You understand? But your character flaws get revealed to you, and you realize this is something I need to work on with God, and you start working on it.
Well, what I can say that is the best decision I've ever made. You can go out and talk to God in nature. You are more calmer. You hear the birds singing. And it's just...
The air is clean and fresh.
It's just different. You go out and you do little farming, because I help on the farm too, and help around the house. And it's just, your body is exercising. It is a great feeling. It's a great feeling. I'm giving God thanks for allowing us to make this decision. It's the best decision we have made.
And I'm telling you something, and the money we have put on and sit down.
We are the manna family.
That's what Mommy called it.
The manna family. Daily the Lord provides for us.
Yep. So we continue, and we will bring you in on this journey a little more. So continue to follow us. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment below. And if you have started or you're thinking about your country living journey, you can comment below and let us know where you are. And we will pray for you as well, because trust me, it's prayers and burden that helped us as well. All right. See you at our next video. Bye.